So, good morning, everybody. Thank you for jumping on our Tuesday Freedom Team Mastermind. We do this every Tuesday morning, 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific. Open to all agents, all companies, anywhere. I know we have guests on here from all over the place. This is primarily EXP, but it's not an EXP presentation at all. We open this up, just good value add for everybody every week. These have been so good, especially with this shift in the market. Some of these topics and stuff, I've picked up ideas and doing stuff that I never thought about in 21 years of doing this. I don't know, constant changes and innovations and people doing things that I never thought of or heard of. So it's always good to be on here, but welcome. We appreciate you guys being here. So a couple quick reminders. I do have everybody muted, but you can unmute yourself. There will be some time in here for Q&A, depending on how these guys want to run this. You could also put your questions in the chat. We'll make sure that your questions get answered. But this has been a big deal, guys. The last couple months here, we've actually been working with this company, Done For You, for several years. They're based out of Utah. I'll let them kind of tell their story. Done For You Real Estate. Real estate company out there in Utah, primarily working with investors, investor clients all over the place, and really the mom and pop investor. And they're going to talk about how that works, but really how you as a real estate agent can not only use them for your investments yourself personally. I know my wife and I were working on getting some things together for that. We're talking to our kids about doing it, all kinds of stuff. But as a realtor, there's lots of ways to use these guys for your clients, your friends, your past clients, whatever, that you could reach out to and help them to get real estate as part of their retirement portfolio. And they can do it all over the place. And I love the idea that it's done for you. Because I don't know, Steve, we've had rental properties, and I'm the one that, it's like I haven't driven by in 6 months, and I'll be in the neighborhood and I drive by and I'm like, oh my goodness, the fence is falling over and when are they going to mow the yard? And I'm ready to go, bang on the door and kick them out and making me crazy, whatever. So I just love the idea that I don't have to think about this. That's one of the biggest things for me. So anyway, I'm going to turn it over to you guys. Steve Earl, Kevin Clayson, Mike Chamberlain, Nathan Larson, Jana, they're all with Done For You Real Estate. I'll let you guys take it from here, explain how you guys work, and we'll talk about this. It's gonna be fun. So take it away. Appreciate you guys doing it.
Yeah, awesome, Jeff. Appreciate the introduction and kind of, at the end of the day, we kind of want to start this off by talking just a little bit about the market, because anything that we say won't have a lot of meaning unless individuals understand that today's market isn't quite what the media would have you believe. Which is, hey, prices are going to fall everywhere. Interest rates are so high, payments are too high. You can't invest. You shouldn't get involved. When in reality, this is one of the best markets in the history of this country. And Kevin and I are going to talk to that for just a few minutes, because I think that is important. So we'll probably take, less than 10 minutes. We just want to address that before we share kind of who we are, what we do, and what the opportunity is to be able to, as real estate agents, participate in investing in real estate yourself or helping your clients do it at a national level. So one of the things I just want to address, really, really quickly is this idea that interest rates are really high. Interest rates are not high. Interest rates are normal. You know what was abnormal? 3% interest, 4% interest, anything below 5%, that was abnormal. We're now in a normal market. We've been doing this for 15 years now. And when we got started, interest rates were hovering between 7 and 7.5%. And guess what? The model worked. So from the standpoint, interest rates, the first time somebody says to you, you have a client come to you, it's like, oh, I don't know if I could buy even a primary residence, or it's like interest rates are high. Interest rates are normal. Another one is, well, appreciation is down, but home prices are falling. Number one, we have a massive shortage, and Kevin, jump in here anytime that you want, but we have a massive shortage in affordable housing across this country to the tune of millions of properties. Like right now, across the country, and in particular, the markets where we invest in, because we don't just invest in every single market across the country. We have a very specific formula that we use to identify markets where we help our clients buy. But there is a massive shortage, and there's something going on right now in the market where there's a group called millennials, this group of up and coming kids, I shouldn't call them kids because they're in their 30s now. They are getting ready to buy. It took them longer to get in that position where they were ready to buy, where they chose to start having kids and they want to settle down a little bit. They want to, grow some roots. But that group is on the verge of beginning to want to buy primary residences, and there is a shortage. There is a shortage, and so think about this right now. Like interest rates, some people think that they might fall, some think they might go up. Whatever the case might be, if interest rates happen to go down over the next few years, so let's say that you wanted to wait for a few years, wait for interest rates to lower. Well, the moment interest rates get into the below 7 into the 6s and perhaps into the high 5s or something, there's going to be a significant number of people jumping into the market again, which is going to increase home prices, which I just read an article this morning. There's been a jump in home prices, this month. And so from that standpoint, the fact that we had appreciation in double digits across the country, that's abnormal. The fact that now appreciation is 3.5% to 5%, at least in the markets where we're buying, that's normal. Our market is normalizing. So from those standpoints, it's a fantastic time to buy real estate. Kevin, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, I was first of all, hey, everybody, it's good to be with you. My name's Kevin Clayson. Steve and I get a chance to kind of come and hang out and have these kinds of conversations with our clients on a regular basis, as well as some of the other team. And I hope that what everybody can hear today is, look, we're all out there at times. It probably feels like you're starving, right? Transactions are tough, transactions are low. And we know that that's, I think everybody's been affected by that. This conversation of investment real estate is one that you can get almost anybody to have, from the standpoint of everybody's either thought about investing in real estate, or everybody has invested in real estate, or they've wanted to invest in real estate, but they didn't know if it was possible for them. And so our hope today is that we could just kind of share some of these thoughts with you, and we're going to open it up for questions. But I just wanted to say, we started this off and Steve said, look, this may be one of the best markets in history to be able to buy properties. And then we say, but how interest rates are normal, appreciation is normal. So is normal the opportunity, or where is the opportunity? And what Steve just touched on is what I think everybody really should be considering, that when you look at where we're at on a supply and demand side. I always love to tell the story. I went to college. I went to a 4-year university, and I remember like 3 things from 4 years of college. And one of them was from an Econ 110 class, and it was all about supply and demand. And I just always remember that people want to, you want to own supply where demand is high. And when we think of what's happening right now, just with numbers of homes available versus how many people want to be entering the market are not entering the market, I just want you to consider this. Everybody that's sitting on the sidelines right now, right? All of the buyers that we've had or that we've talked to, whether that's an investment buyer or a primary residential buyer, they're sitting on the sidelines because they're worried about interest rates, because they're like, well, appreciation has slowed down, because they think that the economy is going to crash, whatever it is that they think. What's going to happen as soon as interest rates come down even just a little, right? So right now we're seeing interest rates, around 7% on investment properties. What happens when those come down, if they come down to just the mid 6s, right? Or even the low 6s? What's going to happen? And on primary residences, what will happen when rates come down just a little bit? What's everybody going to do? They're going to jump in the market. And that's where the opportunity is on the supply and demand side. We're seeing all of these people with this pent-up demand, and as soon as we see some kind of market condition shift just a little, everybody's jumping in. So if you already own that supply before everybody decides that they want to jump in, that's where the impact is from an appreciation standpoint, from a supply and demand standpoint. So really the conversation is, and I guess it's kind of tough because we sort of live in a society where everybody, we're a fast food society, right? So our attention span is approximately 30 seconds. And if we want something, we want it now, right? we go on Amazon, and if we can't get it delivered on Prime within 2 days, we're like, I'm not going to go to the store. You expect me to go to the store when I could just sit here on my butt and wait, and it'll just be delivered into I have Amazon key delivery, so they don't even put it on my doorstep. They raise my garage door and they put it into my garage and close it. I don't have to do anything. This is the society we live in, and why that's important is so many people are looking for immediate gratification when it comes from a real estate standpoint. So what we've seen, what Steve and I've seen in the team at DFY, we've got to really help people shift the conversation into understanding the benefit of owning real estate with an eye to the future as opposed to an eye to the present. And that's got to be a real key that we've noticed. If we can switch buyers into understanding that real estate's a long game, not a short game, it lowers some of those walls.
Excellent. Thanks, Kev. So one of the things that I think is really important, that we just kind of understand that the opportunity exists. And when we know how to have that conversation with our clients, we can help them understand that there really is a great opportunity in front of them to do what Warren Buffett says, is to, when everybody is feeling, confident and greedy, you want to be selling. And when everybody's feeling fearful, you want to be buying. And that's the market that we're currently in. And a big part of that is everything that we hear, everything that we read is the media trying to tell us what we ought to be doing, when in reality, as real estate professionals, we know so much better. And so when individuals come to us and they have this conversation about real estate investing, this is one of the easiest conversations to have because it's so non-threatening. Everybody's interested. Everybody wants to invest in real estate. Most of the time, they just don't know how. They don't have the resources. They don't have the team. They don't know where to go. And oftentimes as real estate professionals, many of us who specialize, say, in first-time home buyers, or we specialize in listings in farming a particular neighborhood, maybe we don't have that expertise as well. Well, there's an opportunity to kind of tap into what it is that DFY does. But before we jump into that, I just want to share with you just a little bit, and Kev, feel free to jump in any time and add here. But Kevin and I founded this company back in 2008. So we're in our 15th, going on 16 years doing this, working with our clients. We've transacted over 6,000 properties with our clients, and we've put together this system. And over the years, we've learned a lot, right? We've learned from the School of Hard Knocks. We've learned from investing ourselves. We've learned from all of the different experiences that we've had. And as an organization, we've grown from just doing this here in Utah to where we helped our clients purchase more than 1,500 properties in Arizona, another nearly 1,000 properties in Nevada. We expanded into Florida. We've been in Florida for about 8 years. We've done well over 1,000 properties there. We're in Tennessee. We've done nearly 1,000 homes there. We're in Indianapolis. We're in Indiana. We've done nearly 1,000 homes there. We've been in Oklahoma City for less time. We've done hundreds of properties in Oklahoma City. We just recently expanded to Georgia and into the DFW market in Texas. And our goal is to continue to grow and expand. And what's interesting about investment real estate is it really doesn't matter what the market is doing. If the market is going up, if it's going down, if it's going sideways, there's an opportunity in single family properties. And we are very niched. We don't do commercial. We don't do multifamily. We don't do just land. There's a lot of really great investment real estate that's out there that's fantastic to take advantage of, but we don't do it. We specialized in what we believe is investing in property that meets our clients' needs, because our clients are not professional investors. Our clients are not typically super wealthy individuals. Our clients, our avatar is individuals who are 40 to 60 years old. They've been good savers. They've got a good job. They have good income, but they've recognized that they're not going to be able to retire when they thought that they're going to be able to retire, utilizing just their 401k and simple savings. What they know intuitively is that they need to be involved in real estate, but they just don't know how. And so what we've done is we put together an organization that does 90% of the heavy lifting. We reduce the pain that our clients feel, because as you all probably know, investing in real estate comes with pain. And so we reduce that pain, and we take care of all of that heavy lifting. We find the property. We rehab the property. We provide the financing. We provide the insurance. We close on the property, and then we place the tenant. And then one of the most unique features that we have is that post-purchase is that we help our clients succeed with that property. And our goal is to help them build a 10 property portfolio. Kev, do you want to talk to that for just a second?
Yeah, sure. So really what we've tried to do is we tried to become kind of the definitive solution for busy and successful people who want to own all the benefits of real estate investing, but just don't have the time, expertise, or even the desire to create the time or find a way to gain the expertise, but can still benefit 100% from owning investment real estate. And, Steve, you gave a little bit of the background. I one of the things, when I look at why we started the company and really where this came from, for me, it really was about, you look back in 2007, 2008, before the crash. I don't know how many of you, were any of you doing the real estate seminar world, where you'd go to, Robert Kiyosaki's people, from Rich Dad Poor Dad, they'd roll into town, and then you'd go and they'd have some sort of dog and pony show. And then they'd send you to the back of the room, and you pay $5,000 at the back of the room. And then that would be to come to a 3-day thing. And then you go to the 3-day thing. And at the 3-day thing, they're just selling you like a $25,000 package. And then when you're in the $25,000 package, all they do after that is then, they'd be on the phone with you, and they try to upsell you to one-on-one coaching. And you never ever met Robert Kiyosaki. He was never in the mix. They just used his dang face, but you spent tens of thousands of dollars to learn to do real estate, and you're still left kind of holding the bag like, what do I do now? I know that I spent the money. What the crap am I supposed to do now? And that was very much the world that we kind of cut our teeth in. And we would get so frustrated with these seminar companies and these reality show dudes that would roll into town, and then people weren't doing real estate. I can't remember. I think the statistics at the time that we were aware of was like 95 or 97% of people that spent money on real estate education would not actually even do real estate with it. They would just buy the education and sit back and go, well, now what? And our whole desire as a company was to not just teach people how to do real estate, but was to help them actually physically transact tangible, profitable real estate. And that was really the entire reason why we created the company from the get-go, is we thought, what if we could take all of the headache and all of the frustration away, or at least most of it, but still deliver somebody the entire financial benefit of owning real estate investment. And that's really what we've tried to craft. Now, the reason why that's kind of germane to this conversation and to you guys is, the other thing that we've realized is we've been working with agents for years is you may not be an investment agent, or you may be an investment agent, but you may be living in a market that is not necessarily the best market to be investing in, right? So I grew up in the San Francisco Bay Area, and the home that my parents bought when they first moved in, it was like 1964. And I think they paid like, I don't know, I can never remember. It was like between 40 and 60 grand for the thing, right? And we sold it right before COVID for almost $800,000. And so if you're in the Bay Area now and you want to invest in real estate, I mean, it's pretty unreasonable and unpalatable for most people. So you may be one of those agents in a market where prices have skyrocketed, and you may have somebody that's sitting on the sideline going, oh my gosh, I've got this money. I want to deploy it. I'd love to add real estate as a retirement piece, but they don't really know. It might be difficult for you to go and find them a home. So we've said, look, if there's a way that you could add an investment real estate arm to your business, so you don't change anything that you're doing currently, but if there was just a way to refer a client and then have a company like ours do all of the heavy lifting and you could still earn commissions, that's really what we wanted to kind of craft when it came to the real estate agent side of things. Is imagine if you could have something where you could tell an investor, hey, you want to invest in real estate? Some of the best markets in the country are now open for business for you, and we could do the majority of the heavy lifting for you with our Done For You real estate team. And that's really kind of what we found to be a successful piece of a number of agents that have referred business to us. We can do the heavy lifting. We're also doing the heavy lifting for the client, but then there's multiple benefits kind of being had across the board. Anything you'd add to that, Steve?
Well, I wanted to ask Kathy. Kathy has, as an agent, has referred just recently somebody to us. So, what was your thoughts, Kathy, as you decided it's like, hey, you've got this this good friend of yours who is interested in purchasing real estate, and you sent him over to us to to this. So what were the thoughts going through your mind? Like, why did you decide to send somebody over to us as opposed to you just like taking them and trying to, help them yourself?
Yeah. Well, really to a lot of what you guys are talking about, I mean, just for context, I've been able to spend some time with y'all. I kind of really grasp what y'all are doing and just believe in what y'all are doing. And, here in Nashville, where I'm at, we're one of those markets that makes it difficult to invest in. And as y'all are talking about, everybody wants to invest, or most people want to invest. They just don't know how, there's multiple reasons. And after learning more about what y'all do and how successful you've done it, I mean, 6,000 houses now over the last 15 years, and just other people's testimonies that I know that have worked with you guys, and getting to know y'all myself, I just knew this would be a good fit. I know you guys are going to talk about it, and I don't want to really let the cat out of the bag, but the fact that y'all's average sales price for your investment properties are under 300K, to me was huge, because in Nashville you can't get anything for you can't get anything for 300K, at all, let alone under 300. And so I think just knowing what you guys have done, number one, and how like Jeff started out, like done for you, thus your name, y'all do everything. You line the property manager up. If renovations need to happen, you've got people in those places to do that. And you're not just pigeonholed to one city. Y'all do this in multiple cities around the country, and you do a very good job in vetting what cities you're going to go into. Right. You don't just willy-nilly go into a city. You're vetting the cities, you're looking at the demographics, you're looking at the growth, you're looking at all of those things. And so I know that's probably some of what you're going to maybe talk about, but it's just, at the end of the day, as a realtor, you got to do what's best for your client. And I could sell them a house here in Nashville, and knowing in my heart of hearts, it may not be the best investment for them when I know there's better opportunity for them. That's really what it boils down to.
Yeah.
You gotta care for your client more than you care for yourself, really.
Thanks, Kathy. Appreciate that. I see that David Doran is in the house as well. So David, I'm going to give you like 1 minute to think about things, but I'm going to call on you first in a second to help our guests here, because you've really kind of bought lock, stock, and barrel into this idea, this concept of what this can do for your business. And so I want to ask you that question in just a minute. Before going there, I want to just address really quickly one additional thing, is that as real estate agents, when I got into real estate and I got my real estate license, I felt like I was a kid in a candy store. It's like I speak Spanish, and so I thought, man, I'm gonna serve the Hispanic community. And I started dabbling in that a little bit. And then I was like, well, I'm an investor, so I'm going to help other people flip homes like I'm flipping homes. And then I thought, it's like, I bought a commercial building. It's like, I could help people do commercial stuff. It's like the commissions there are like massive. It's like, I'm going to go there, did that a little bit. And then I also bought some multifamily properties. And so I was like, man, multifamily, this is fantastic. Like, I can help people do that. And then it's like, I really like the up and coming generation. I help my own children get into real estate and that kind of a thing. I'm going to help like kids, like when I say kids, like young adults, people who are getting ready to buy their first home, I'm going to help them. And so I was like bouncing all over the place. And I finally settled on what it is that we're doing today. But I bring that up because each of you have your special niche. It takes, according to the experts, 10,000 hours to become expert at anything. 10,000 hours. And on the real estate investing side, there's a lot of nuance. And one of the things that I found, that as I began helping people do what I was doing, is I'm a pretty conscientious person. And what I found is that post-purchase, I found that I was feeling like this burden, this weight. Every person I was helping was adding on to this burden I was feeling on my shoulders of it's like, I would call one of my buddies up who helped buy a property. I'm like, hey, how's it going? He's like, well, I've had it for 2 months now and I still can't get anybody to come out, and get the rehab done. And then and so piling on, I was like, oh man, it's like, well, maybe I can help you with that. And then I'd go and talk to my other buddy who I'd help buy one. It's like, hey, you got that place rented out? Yeah. It's like, no, not yet. I finally got it, rehabbed after 4 months. I've been making these payments and now I've got it, I've got it on the market and, I'm not sure what to do. It's like, now that's piling on. I got this buddy, he's making these payments and he's not making his money yet. Anyways, you get my point, right? Is the individuals that I was helping, I didn't have a system and a process in place to help ensure that they were succeeding the way that I just thought everybody knew what I knew. I grew up, my business career was in the real estate construction industry. Like I knew all this stuff. I knew all these people, had all these connections. And, I was just like, well, doesn't everybody have these connections? Doesn't everybody know how to fix a leaky faucet? Like, doesn't everybody know like what the sequence of events should be? Doesn't everybody know that here's your biggest bang for your buck as far as like the things that you want to focus? I've had people like doing stuff to the property that had it added no value to the property. And like, what are you doing? It's like, well, they had no clue. They didn't know, they didn't understand. And I just like, it's what's called the curse of knowledge. Like, I just thought everybody knew what I knew, and that just simply wasn't the case. And so as I started doing this, I realized very quickly that if I was going to do this at, as my niche, as my business, I had to become super expert. And then on top of that, I had to figure out like, what the heck was a 1031 exchange? What are all the rules involved with that? I needed to understand, because I had other friends who had like retirement funds that they wanted to use. Well, how do they use a self-directed IRA? How do they self-direct it? Who do they need to talk to? What's a custodian? And then they'd ask me questions about depreciation, accelerated depreciation, cost segregation, and all of these things that could add value to their investing experience. Like, unless I became expert in those things, I wasn't doing for them what I ought to be doing as a real estate professional and as one in the business of helping them invest in real estate. And then there's a myriad of other things that all the nuance that could help them. And so this whole idea of 10,000 hours to become an expert, I actually think is probably closer to 30,000 hours, because like to become expert in so many of these different areas, to be able to help your clients in such, in the way that you really could and should help them as a real estate professional, were things that for many agents, it's like, hey, like, I don't even want that in my life. It's like, I'm an expert at doing this thing. And so to Kevin's point, to Kathy's point, what we've become for real estate agents is we're just simply another arrow in your quiver. Our goal is to never take a transaction away from you as a real estate agent. If there's a deal that you can do in your neck of the woods and in what you're doing, then you ought to do it. We're for agents who somebody comes to you and maybe you happen to be in one of those markets where it's not, conducive for, the typical person to be able to buy and invest in real estate. Well, we get to become your team, like literally an extension of you. We're that arrow that you can pull out and that you can fire, and literally with a referral, now all of a sudden everything is done, done for you. And so it's real estate done, for you from the perspective of an agent. So back to you, David. I gave you a minute or two, just kind of think through. I've gotten to know David, over the last, actually over the past year or so. I sat beside him at, I can't remember what event. It might've been the Build event a year ago. And David literally nearly died the night that I met him. And I'm really grateful that he hung out, stuck around. David is amazing. And I've had the opportunity to get to know him better. He came out to Utah. So I just want to get your perspective on things, David. I think you have a very unique perspective as to what it is that you feel like we can do for your business.
Thank you, Steve. I do a lot of investments with people, and I do a lot of, taking people through that process. And Steve, your company has figured out how to do that super easy and take all the risk out of it. There is no way that I can take an investor and go, hey, let's do a single family home. and do it as well as you guys have it. You guys have that process down perfect, but there's no upside. I literally, if the yard's not mowed, I'm getting blamed for it. If it's a bad tenant, I'm getting blamed for it. And I'm also not having the time and the resources. They have such good processes in place for teaching people how to be investors. You know, being an investor takes some time and effort and some skill, and they have an amazing process to make that super simple. You know, every time, I love sitting in every conversation I've had with Steve, he takes a different angle at it of making the same story super simple and super fun. I literally was 10 minutes late jumping on this call because I was literally talking about how they were going to do that and how they were going to do that for my client. Well, that took all that burden off of me. You know, I don't have to do that. I'm the hero. Steve and those guys are going to do it. I'm going to look good. And then when they come out for me, I want them as a second base, third base type of investment person. They're going to have skill. They're going to understand what risk is. They're going to understand cost segregation. They're going to understand all those fundamental pieces that they need. And I don't have to pay for it. In fact, I get paid for it. Steve's going to write me a check for it. It's awesome. And, you know, the thing for me is I don't partner up with a lot of companies. I like to do things myself, maybe even to a fault. But when I met Steve, I literally was having a stroke and almost died. And I literally sat there till I went to the hospital because I was like so intrigued by Steve. He was like telling me, I was like, holy cow, this is amazing. This is what I want to hear. And, you know, fast forward a year later, it's still the same message. He's the real deal. You know, we flew out there to Utah, got to see behind the scenes, see everything. And it was just amazing.
Awesome. Thanks, David.
It works better
David,
if you're alive, David. So we're glad you got to the hospital.
yeah, you have to tell that story in detail here on one of these calls, one of these times, David. So
Steve,
can you,
yeah, I was listening. Can you guys jump in? Maybe, and Kevin, you guys like in turn, like for us as realtors, let's say I've got somebody, I reach out to, because again, I'm in Colorado Springs, same thing like Kathy, whatever, like the prices here, like it's hard to find a deal here that would really truly work, you know, in the long run. But to be able to, I've got a client, they want to do some investing, or I reach out to them and, hey, have you ever thought about doing, you know, investing, getting your real estate in your portfolio? Yeah, we thought about it, but we just don't know what to do. Hey, I've got these guys. You need to talk to these guys. So I send them to you. Can you guys talk about that process, like how this would work then for all of us, you know?
Yeah,
Go
no,
through some
thank
of
you
that.
so much. Yeah. So a couple things. So we, on our website's dfy-realestate.com. If you click, so we're EXP agents. So all of the real estate that we do has EXP attached to it, but anybody could really do this. There's a link on our website that says EXP agent. When you click on it, it takes you to a page. Right at the top of the page, there's a button. There's a black bar and an orange button that says, you know, submit an investor referral. If you click that and you enter some information of somebody that you think would be interested in investing in real estate, they then get introduced to DFY Real Estate. So you enter their information. We send them an email that says, hey, you know, so-and-so thinks you might be interested in some real estate. Take a look. And they'll get the emails. They may raise their hand and say, yes, I'd love to learn more. If they raise their hand and say, yes, they'd like to learn more, they're going to jump on a call with us. And we've got a really dialed in process for taking somebody from, I don't even know that I have the ability to invest in real estate, all the way through till, hey, I'm not just, I can buy one property. In fact, I'm on my way to getting 10. And the process looks like this. We have what's called a game plan call with them. That initial game plan call, really what we're doing is getting a feel for them, kind of where they're at, what their financial situation is, answering questions about real estate, and kind of telling them the story of our company so that they understand why this can be a solution that could be beneficial for them. Once they understand that, and we answer some questions for them, we put together just a very tentative plan of saying, well, based on what you shared with us, you know, here's how investment real estate could potentially fit into your life. We then send them home to do some homework. They review a document that we've given them that we call the Moneyball Guide. And let me just pause real quick. You'll sometimes hear some baseball terminology around DFY. And the reason for that is we love to say that we play Moneyball real estate. In fact, we have a book coming out to that effect very soon. And the reason for that is we help people hit real estate singles. We're not looking for the home run deal. We're not trying to swing for the fences. We're not looking for a big money flip. We're not doing, a bunch of short-term rentals. rentals that could be rentable, but what happens if for some reason you can't get them occupied? We're not doing commercial, we're not doing triplexes, we're not doing multi-unit. We're not Grant Cardone buying 800,000 unit buildings. We're not doing that. What we are doing is 3-bed, 2-bath, 2-car garage properties in awesome neighborhoods in metro, in suburban areas near metropolitan centers that have good economic conditions. And then our team on the ground is going in and doing all that work. We are hitting real estate singles. It's not like it's gonna, cash flow $1,000 month one. It's gonna cash flow a little bit month one, but the long-term benefits of these properties is exceptional. Now, I bring that up because after that first conversation that we have with somebody and we kind of craft a game plan for them, we send them home with a thing we call the Moneyball Guide, which really just outlines what their process would look like if they were going to do real estate. We then jump on a second call with them. On that second call, we're dialing in the plan and really seeing if they want to move forward. Once they decide that they want to move forward, we actually have them go through a pre-approval process. So we own a mortgage brokerage. And as such, we've got this in-house full doc pre-approval that we're doing with these clients. What that means is we know for sure that they're going to be able to buy a piece of real estate once they kind of come out of that pre-approval process. Once they clear that pre-approval, that full doc pre-approval, we are assigning them a transaction coach. This is somebody that's literally holding their hand and helping them determine which market would be best for them, helping them evaluate properties as they come across, and really just there to kind of be the conductor of their real estate symphony. That transaction coach is helping them determine the market and then introducing them to the teams on the ground. The teams on the ground are going through and vetting properties that fit the Moneyball real estate mold, that are real estate singles, and then sending those properties to the client. Our transaction coach is helping determine which property is going to be a good fit for that client. Once they find one that works, they put it under contract. We get them the financing, we get it closed. Once it's closed, the property management team that we've got there on the ground is going in and coordinating the rental ready rehab and then getting the property leased out. And then our clients are sitting back and hopefully collecting checks from that point forward. But we continue to work with our clients every year after that. Every year we're doing an annual game plan review and making sure that they know what time it is with their investments. When is it time to refinance? When is it time to sell one and do a 1031 and go purchase two, or whatever the case may be. So the entire process from front to back is designed so that we're holding their hand, but yet doing the majority of the heavy lifting for them. So they're always involved in the process, but our team and kind of the whole structure that we've built and the system we've built is doing the majority of the work. So what it should feel like as an investor is I get some information, I get pre-approved, I'm seeing deals that are deals for me that I can put under contract, I'm getting closed on the property, and I'm collecting checks. That's what it should feel like for the investor. But behind the scenes, we've got all of this other stuff kind of going on. Does that answer the question, Jeff? Is that kind of what you wanted me to go through?
Yeah, no, exactly. It's done for you. And then us as a realtor, I refer that person to you, that deal closes, I get a referral.
Yeah.
That's right.
Right. So I get paid on that. And the home, here's this couple, for example, for me, or it could be a past client of mine here in Colorado Springs. It could be, a friend of mine from college in Indianapolis who I'm referring to you guys. And they're buying a home in Oklahoma City that they never see. They come up with the money. I get the referral. A year from now, let's say you do that analysis with them, or 2 years later, whatever. And now, okay, it's time to refinance, do a 1031 exchange. We're going to go buy 2 properties with this one. I'm going to get paid again twice, 2 more referral fees, because my name is attached to them for as long as they're with you guys. Correct?
Yep.
So you can see, I think, guys, like, to understand the power of this. Number one, you're helping your clients, your friends, your family from anywhere by sending them to these guys. And it goes on. And the average person with you guys, they're buying multiple properties over the years, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We kind of like to say for agents, it's kind of a perpetual profits machine, right? It's sort of like you refer somebody to us. The nature of our system is that we're going to go and do that work for them. And then we are constantly helping them know when it's time to buy the next and the next. And our goal is with these clients, if we can help them get to 10 properties, we know that the average hardworking American with 10 properties can have a really healthy retirement and not be dependent on government institutions, or not be dependent on pensions, or not be dependent on 401ks or stock markets. And so, yes, Jeff, to your question, that's precisely what it is. And every one of those transactions, it's not just 10 properties. It's when you buy one and then you sell that one, and then they go buy 2 more, and then they sell those and you go buy 4. There's multiple transactions taking place over a 10, 15, 20-year time frame, where we are helping those clients grow their portfolio to a place where they can comfortably sit back and feel like they've got a level of income replacement. And if you have referred that person to us, you're getting paid on every single one of those purchase transactions.
So I'll just point out, so when you go to our website, dfy-realestate.com, and then you click on the EXP agent up at the top, and then the very first orange button that you see at the top of that page says submit a referral. When you click that and you enter your referral's name and information, your name at that point, that's where your name gets attached to that client indefinitely. Yeah, there you go. Thanks, Jeff. So right there, submit a lead at the top there. When you click on that button, it'll pull this up. And so super simple form, your name, your full name, your friend's first and last name, your friend's email, and then you just tell us a little bit about your friend. And there's 4 criteria for submitting a referral. 1, that person has a desire to do real estate. They appear to, it seems like they've got money for a down payment. They've got verifiable income and decent credit, which is anything above 680. Not that you need to ask them any of those things, but if you have a general idea that they have those 4 qualifications, there's a great likelihood that we're going to help that individual move forward and purchase real estate. Now, if that person, if they don't qualify, they still have a desire to do real estate, they're just not quite ready yet, we continue to work with that client. They go into our drip campaign. We have different systems in place. We have different education in place that will help keep that individual motivated and moving forward. Maybe they need to get some credit repair or something done. We're able to refer them to individuals to help them do that kind of a thing. We're going to help your client continue to move forward. And let's say a year from now, 2 years from now, they finally got themselves in a position to buy real estate. They come and they work with us and they buy real estate. Bam, you're going to get that referral fee, that 30% referral fee for any properties that they purchase moving forward. Now, many people on this call are EXP agents, and some of you aren't EXP agents. So we can work. You don't have to be an EXP agent, but here's if you happen to be. I'm going to talk to those who are EXP at the moment. So, number 1. Working with us can help you create transactions that otherwise wouldn't happen, right? So otherwise, you wouldn't have the opportunity to do a deal with that person. So that's the number 1 benefit right there. Number 2, if you're a real estate agent, we actually help a lot of real estate agents buy real estate. And so number 2, if you're in a position where you just want to learn, you want to get more education, you want to figure things out, you want to buy real estate, we can help you. But number 3, if you're a team builder, if you're building a team and you have your frontline agents, your FLAs, and some of them are having trouble staying qualified, this is an opportunity for agents, individuals who are like, they're really struggling with, how do I get my next deal? How do I, meet those minimum requirements? Our average referral fee is just over $2,500. So if you were to refer 2 people who did deals in a 6-month period of time, you just stayed qualified. And if you referred, 2 people every 6 months, you're going to stay frontline qualified. And so if you're a team builder, this is another benefit that we're excited about to help our Freedom team, team members, other team members, help their frontline agents stay qualified. It's a part. I don't know, Sean, do you want to speak to that for a second?
Well, I'm just sitting here listening to all the input's been phenomenal from you guys, Dave, Jeff, Kathy. So I'm sitting here listening to you and I'm thinking of all the frontline agents, especially the ones who are just challenged right now to even get productive. And we've seen such a drop. I heard Jeff, you comment, I think on this morning's tip of the day, which I was telling you, that was phenomenal, but you've had a dip of 50% in your market.
Yeah,
That's
our home sales are down 50% from a year ago.
Yeah, so I'm just thinking of all those agents right now who were barely making it last year. Now, what are they doing this year? Are they leaving the industry? And I just think you guys are another lifeline. We're always trying to attract agents over to EXP to let them know, look, you come over here and 4 to 5 years later, you look up with options. You're not solely dependent upon it. I don't sell this house, I can't pay my bills. Well, this is the same thing I see with you guys. It's another lifeline, and it's a huge one that can be life-changing, can completely change their family tree. So, I'm just sitting here taking it in as a sponge, and incredible. It was awesome to go up there and get to know you guys and what you stand for and what you're doing, and just look forward to working this in and beginning to just educate our agents that are currently with us. But man, I see, like, I just had a call right before we jumped on here. And the guy's been in real estate for 3 years, doing great. He's up to 6 million, which I said, man, you're in the top 5% of agents in 3 years to do that kind of volume. But he already told me he's like 50 years old. He had done oil and gas for 20 something years and just needed to switch gears. But he's like, man, I'm getting tired. He goes, I want to figure out, he said to me, he goes, I want to figure out 4 to 5 years from now, I want to be making more money, but I want to be working less hours. All right. So ding, ding, ding. I'm thinking, okay, EXP is the perfect model, but the back of my mind's going, man, if he also understood what we're doing here with Done Few. So I scheduled a Zoom for him on Friday, and I'm going to bring this up. And I'm going to be, so I can see every other agent I talk to, they're all, like you said, they're trying to get into this industry, don't know how, and so forth. And man, just super excited about the opportunity for all agents across the country, not just EXP, but all that we're going to be talking to. This is just another quiver, like you guys said, or an arrow in our quiver that's going to help us be able to attract these agents and transform their life, not just bring them over to another brokerage. So super excited about what you guys are doing.
Hey, Steve, this may be going off just a little bit, but we've only got about 10 minutes. So I want to open it. I know, Jeff, we always open it up for Q&A here at the end. But before we do that, I would love for you to talk about, because this is all realtors on here. I'd love for you to talk about, the benefit for realtors even buying investment properties, and, what you were able to do with the tax benefit, like that was something that I've been in real estate 24 years. That was something that I learned really through you guys, with the bonus,
depreciation.
with the bonus depreciation. And so, maybe just touch on that a minute, just to give a high level education about the benefit for realtors of purchasing real estate, how you saved 80 grand on your taxes last year. Like, hello, what agent doesn't want to save, tens of thousands of dollars on their taxes every year? And then let's open it up for question.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, so there's something that's called cost segregation and accelerated depreciation. There are two groups of people that can qualify to take advantage of this. The first one is a real estate professional. So if you qualify as a real estate professional, you can take advantage of this, and you can also apply this benefit to passive income. So here's the opportunity. You can do something what's called cost segregation. You can get a cost segregation study done even on single family residential property. You get this study done, and what they do is they're basically breaking down the property into its components: the roof, the cabinets, the flooring, the electrical, the plumbing, and they depreciate each of these different components of the property differently. And then you can take advantage of of something that exists that the government has, applied to this, and it's called accelerated or bonus depreciation. And so last year I did this for 4 properties. I paid just under $3,000 for the cost seg study on each property. And at the end of the day, and these were properties that I'd paid right around $300,000 for, just under $300,000. And each one of those properties allowed me to deduct approximately $80,000 per property from my overall income, which means whatever tax bracket I fall in, you take 4 properties times 8, that's 320,000, right? So I could deduct that from my income. And so whatever tax bracket I happen to fall in, if it was a 30% tax bracket, multiply that, that's a $90,000 tax deduction. That is massive. Now, that bonus depreciation is changing every year. And right now that's based on what the governor has done. That bonus depreciation is not as great as it was last year. It'll be, you know, if I was able to deduct about 80,000 per property, this year it'll probably be closer to 60,000. And so of course you need to consult your, you know, your tax accountant, your tax attorney to make sure, you know, we're not tax accountants, but that's the experience that I had. And my tax accountant is about as conservative as you can possibly get. And so it blew him away when he saw the opportunity that I got to take advantage of because I'm a real estate professional. So in my mind, if you are a real estate professional, you cannot afford to not buy one property a year. Like you just can't afford not to, because your savings quite literally will take care of up to, you know, a portion of your down payment to get into that property, a significant portion of your down payment. And so you just simply cannot afford to be doing this yourself.
Yeah.
Before we open a question, I'm gonna do an abbreviated version of what it is that Done For You Real Estate helps our clients do. And I'm just gonna use a personal example. My own son, young guy, he started investing when he was 20 years old, bought his first property. 2 years after buying that property, you know, I'm going to really give the abbreviated version, but he bought his first property. At the time, it cash flowed about $400 a month. And so for 2 years, he collected that $400 a month. After 2 years, he decided he wanted to go to college. And he said, Dad, you know, should I sell this property and use this money to go to college? I said, what are your goals? He's like, well, I want to own 8 properties ultimately. So I said, well, don't sell it, refinance it, pull some money up, buy another property. So that's what he did. And the reason why he could do that is because in 2 years, his property had appreciated $72,000. Now, I'm not saying that that's going to happen again this year. Well, it happened last year or the years before, but typically at 3.5%, the typical rate of appreciation over historically on a $300,000 home, that's, you know, that's $30,000, right? Did I do my math right, Mike? No, it's $10,000. It's $10,000 appreciation.
Yep.
And so there's $10,000. So over the course of 3 years, 2 years, you know, you're going to see that appreciation. But in my son's case, he happened to buy in like 2011 and things really were appreciating. So he took advantage of significant appreciation, took that property, and instead of, you know, taking his money and just spending it on college, he got a job to pay for college. Imagine that. And instead he let his investments continue to do what they're doing. He was able to buy 2 more properties, graduated while he was in college, one of the properties he bought was a duplex. He got married. He lived in the basement. He lived for free because the upstairs was paid for it. Then he went off to law school, went to law school for 3 years, came back, sold 2 properties, refinanced 1 and bought 4 more. Long story short, he was able to get his 8 properties by the time he was 30. Before he was 30, he was 28 when that happened. Today, he's 31, so it's 3 years later now. He now has his 8 properties, okay? So in 12 years, he went from 1 property, and without adding additional money from his own pocket, he's been able to accumulate 8 properties, which now have nearly $900,000 in equity and cash flowing about $3,500 a month. He was just a young kid. He did it. This is like a typical scenario for our clients over the course of 10 years, being able to take 1 property, turn it into 2, take 2, turn it into 4. And we have story after story after story. What we're doing is no longer theoretical. We've been doing this for 15 years now. So it's not theory anymore. It's like we get to rely on actual experiences. We could share like many experiences from a client. That's what we're trying to help our clients do. And so I just wanted to share that with you to help you guys like just kind of capture a picture of what the possibility. That's an extreme example of a young person. We have extreme examples of people who didn't get started until they were in their 70s. And then we have regular stories of our clients who have taken 1 and turned them into 5, taken 1, turned them into 6, taken 1, turned them into 4. We have hundreds and hundreds of those clients who have gone through and done that. And it has been life-changing for them. So I know we're almost out of time. Would love to open this up to any questions that you guys might have.
Who's got a question or a comment, thought? Sean, did you have something?
Oh, yes. I came on late, and for those clients, do you also have property management in place for them?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
from A to Z. So property management is the final piece. Probably the most important piece is the property management. And we have an excellent property management piece in place.
Definitely. That's huge. One of the things that, just to share this, and if somebody has a question, definitely, whatever, unmute yourself and jump in. Kelly Fasterling, she's not on here because she's in Alaska right now on vacation, her and her husband. But anyway, she's the one that kind of connected us. She is a financial planner, financial advisor by background, got a real estate license, I don't know, 8-9 years ago now, because she was referring so many of her people to you guys, whatever, to get part of their retirement plan into real estate. So she got licensed so she could collect the referral fees. Why not? Of course, good thing to do. But she shared with us, I mean, she's bought multiple properties over the years, and the ones that she's done on her own, a mixed bag. The ones that she's done with you guys, 100%. And she shares this a lot, 100% success, like what, and so, and then she's referred, how many people has she referred to you guys? Any idea? Do you have any idea, Steve?
Yeah, it's probably close to 50 people,
Okay.
Give or take a few
Over the years. So all those people, every time they buy and sell a house, whatever, she's getting that referral fee. I mean, just another additional stream of income for her, in addition to their own property
license. Yeah,
What's
she
that?
wasn't even a licensed realtor. It's just that she was referring so many people that she's like, maybe I should just get my license. And we're like, yes, absolutely. So
Definitely.
Hey, Steve, what was your last name? I didn't catch it.
Earl,
Steve Earl.
EARL.
And you say you do these every week. How do I get to the next one? I'm not sure how I got here.
So when you say we do these every week, what
Share about the webinar that you guys do, or where they can find, because I know you guys are doing some ongoing stuff as far as, talk about that real quick.
Yeah. So Linda, I don't know if you're talking about this call. Are you talking about this call? How you got to this call? Okay. Yeah. So this is the Freedom Team call. These guys, they do this call every single week. It's just a mastermind that they do it every week at the same time. As far as done for you real estate, if you go to dfy-realestate.com, that website was put in the chat earlier. You can go, there's a link up at the top, just kind of in the menu, that says EXP agent, even if you're not an EXP agent. If you click on that, it'll take you to a page that has a little 3-minute video. And I'd recommend it's actually, I think it's 3 minutes. It's a little 3-minute video. Watch that 3-minute video and we'll register for an upcoming webinar. On that webinar, Steve and I are going to go a lot deeper into kind of why investment real estate, what this is, what this looks like. And then we actually offer a free certification that you could even do on demand at home. These guys, a couple of these people on the call came out to Utah, which was awesome. We do live certifications, but we also do just free on-demand certifications that talks a little bit about how easy you can add this as an investment arm to your existing real estate business, and just how to have it done, kind of for you. And so if you go to dfy-realestate.com, click on that EXP agent link, you can register for that webinar.
This is my niche. This is my specialty. I'm a lifetime member of the Real Estate Investors of Nashville. I do real estate investing out of state myself. I have a commercial lending business where I loan commercial funds for real estate investors only. So I do what you're doing, and I have so many people that want to latch on my coattail and say, show me how to do it. And I'm like, I just don't have time. I can't do it and do my own business. So this might be really a really useful way to help others, because I have that servant nature. I love to help people, and if it's not a win-win, I won't do it, So, but I want to help everybody and I just can't. So maybe this will be something that, I can put in place. I hope so. I need to learn more though. I just don't go in blind and say, okay, sign me up. I need to know more about you. I need to maybe come to Utah. I don't know.
Yes, sure.
Linda, you and I can chat. Like, I'll give you a call. We'll talk.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean,
Linda, I appreciate those comments. I that's been my experience talking with agents. I sure hope you all feel like you're doing an important work in your clients' lives, whether it's helping them get into their primary residence, which is such a big deal to them, the space that they can enjoy, or that you help them invest for the future in a format that they can sleep better at night, have more confidence that things will work out. That's something that I get a lot of satisfaction out of. This works, and it helps people feel like they're doing something that will help them in their future. They've found a side hustle. They're doing something that will lead to a better life for them. And like Sean said, intergenerational.
Yeah.
200-year legacy plan with the tax benefits and the growth that real estate provides. This is really dramatic. So I love what you expressed there, Linda, and desire to help people. And I know that this really does help people. It's been fun to work with agents in helping them help their clients that way.
Well, and talking about the tax savings, next week, this same time, same place, one of Done For You's partner, they're going to come on and talk about 1031 exchanges and educate us as agents a little bit more on 1031 exchanges. And again, how to talk to clients who may already have real estate that may want to, sell something, multiply their portfolio and the benefits of the 1031. So come back next week, this same time, same link, and we're going to talk about that a lot more in detail. Jeff, it's
Linda, if I could just say too, I think, you and Kathy can talk. And I think, so for you to continue to do what you're doing right there in Nashville and helping your people there, this just opens that door up for you to now share this honestly on a nationwide basis. People all over the place that you can't help. You could direct them to something, maybe an agent in their market or whatever, but even where their market is, who knows what the prices are like. Whereas these guys they're studying the markets all over the place, and they're going in there where they can buy properties, at the right price, that makes it more affordable for people, but also then that whole done for you process. I mean, even talking to Kelly, all the homes that she's bought, for the most part, she's never seen any of them, and that's the thing. I just, again, for me, I just don't want to drive by and, oh my God, the yard, and
Is it fair to ask, how does Done For You make their money? Is that a fair question?
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Can I cover that real quick? I know we're kind of out of time. Do you want me to just touch on that briefly?
Absolutely. Go ahead.
Yeah. So we have a couple different profit centers. The way that our business works is, so when a client comes and does real estate with us, we have a flat fee that gets charged at closing. So it goes on the closing documents. It's a separate buyer paid commission of $6,995. So they're not paying anything until they're closing on a property. We love that because it means that if we don't deliver something that's significant, nobody's going to close. And we build that fee into their total out-of-pocket expenses and even generate returns based on that total out-of-pocket, so that they can see. If you go to our website, dfy-realestate.com, and you click on see the properties, you can see what those property analyses look like, and the returns are exceptional. So that's a primary profit center for us. We do own a mortgage brokerage, and so if we're fortunate, our clients don't have to use us for the lending, but the majority of them do, because it's all that we do, and we're frankly really good at it because it's all that we do. And so we make a little bit on the loan, and then we make a tiny bit on the insurance piece. And then obviously a portion of the real estate agent commission. So that's kind of, we have multiple profit centers throughout each transaction, but the primary one is that flat buyer's paid commission that we charge at closing.
And the only additional fee that an investor pays to get our help is that team's fee for all the coordination and effort and all the after purchase follow-up that goes on for years. It's that $69.95. All those other fees are fees they'd be paying whether they got our help or not.
Yep, that's right.
Well, good stuff. I just had a text. This is so funny. This text came in at 9:55. Here's this text. I don't know who it says. Hi, Jeff. This is Michelle. I'm an investor in Colorado. Are you still a real estate agent in the Springs? So my first call when I hang up is to her, and then I'm gonna probably send her to you guys. So anyway, so I don't have to think about it. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys, all that you're doing. It's great to have you over here at EXP. If you're not part of EXP, you can still go to their website, click on where it says EXP agent, sign up for their webinar, get the info, that kind of stuff. Refer your investor clients over to them. They'll take good care of them. So anyway, find out more about it. But next week, 1031 exchanges, we'll dive into this a little deeper. A lot to learn with all this stuff all the time. We're here every Tuesday. So be sure to come back to us. Okay, guys, the recording of this will be up on the Freedom Team workplace page within the next couple hours. It'll be on the Freedom Team YouTube channel as well, EXP Freedom Team. You can look it up. And so if you're not with us, you can find it there. If you want to watch this again or reach out to the person that got you on here, we can certainly send you the recording and any other information that you need. So guys, thank you very much. Have a great rest of your day. Great rest of your week.
Bye.
We'll see you soon.
Thank you,
Thanks for
guys.
having us.
Thanks,
Bye.
everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.